Radio Chingalo, restoring everything in Christ with love and truth. Good afternoon with the main news. I'm Kennedy Mbewe Jr. Kindly be informed that we are also streaming live on the Radio Chingalo Facebook page and our YouTube channel. The headlines: KCM allegedly pollute Kafue River. Kakoma Kanganja assures citizens of peace and order next year. Participate in voter registration. The details. The Zambia Environmental Management Agency, ZEMA, has revealed that there was water pollution into the Kafue River by Konkola Copper Mines PLC, which happened on 16th November 2020 at Itsanchanga Muntimpa Pump Station. Following the incident, some dead fish was found floating as there was a bluish layer of copper precipitate, indicating the presence of copper sulfate at the intake point. According to ZEMA, preliminary investigations by a team of inspectors from ZEMA indicate that the discharge was an overflow through the Pollution Control Dam PCD spillway and was caused by pump mechanical failure at Muntimpa Pump Station. As a result, effluent was discharged into the open environment and later reached the Kafue River and the water intake point of Mlonga Water Supply and Sanitation Company Limited. ZEMA has since assured the public that it is doing everything possible to ensure that the health and welfare of persons, animals, plants, and the environment are safeguarded. This is according to a media statement issued by ZEMA Acting Corporate Affairs Manager Friday Piri. A check over 2,007,168 kwacha 52 ngwe has been presented to Catholic Diocese of Mondola Bishop Dr. Benjamin Piri as the 2020 Seminarian Fund. The Catholic Women's Organization CWO of Mondola Diocese handed over the check at a colorful celebration that was preceded by Holy Mass hosted by Nkana Dinari at Nkana Stadium in Kitwe yesterday. Speaking when handing over check, Diocesan CWO chairperson Lillian Ngela said 2020 has been a different and difficult year due to the outbreak of COVID-19. Ms. Ngela, who pledged that the women in the diocese would continue to raise money for the education of seminarians, thanked all the women and people who contributed in raising funds this year.
Because of the COVID-19, which did not allow us to hold our usual fundraising activities. All the same, the women did not sit back. They had to find ways and means to raise the funds. I would like to sincerely thank all our partners and major stakeholders, our parish priests, and all who encouraged us to forge ahead.
And speaking soon after receiving the check, Catholic Diocese of Mondola Bishop Dr. Benjamin Piri thanked the women for the gesture. Bishop Piri further called for unity of purpose in building the local church.
Let my parish, the cathedral, for being the best parish for 2020, and indeed Ndora Dinari for winning the trophy, and all of you for the various trophies that you have received. We are hoping that this competition, which is a positive competition, is going to encourage the others to fight to be the first next time. The money which you give us does not go only to paying the seminary fees. It also helps us to meet all the needs that the seminarians have, but also the events like the ordination you were talking about. So I will go out of my way to ask you that we work together, that we remain united, so that we may build the local church here.
Meanwhile, Bishop Piri took time to address the faithful who gathered in Nkana Stadium on the launched One Kwacha campaign for the health scheme of the priests in the diocese.
For the priests' health scheme, which we are launching today, where I'm asking for a 1 kwacha from every Christian in this diocese, so that we can create this health scheme. For those who would like to offer more than 1 kwacha, they are most welcome. It will make the scheme even stronger, because at the moment, our scheme does not have any money. It is just borrowing from other funds. If we can do this exercise quickly, then we will be assured of not causing problems for other initiatives and other funds, like the Seminarians Fund, which is meant to help with our formation program.
During the Seminarian Fund presentation, Cathedral of Christ, the King emerged at the overall parish, the diocese, which contributed funds surpassing the target. And on the overall performance of Dinariza, Ndola came first, followed by Nkana. Chingola came third, while Kito Dinariz was fourth in contributions. Now, as the country prepares to go to the polls next year, Inspector General of Police Kakoma Kanganja has assured the citizens of peace and order. Speaking to journalists in Kitwe, the IG noted that the police have put up a good security plan to protect every citizen during and after the elections. He also implored the political players to caution their cadres, saying they are the main lawbreakers during elections.
The public that Zambia Police Service, we are ready, we've been planning all along, we put in measures to ensure that there will be peace before, during, and after the elections. We put up a security plan which will decide on how we're going to operate. Every police officer will be involved in policing of the elections. Police will be equal to the task. They should not fear or anything. Lawbreakers will not be entertained. And this must be a warning to all political players that they should tame their cadres, because the police are going to be firm on the ground.
Meanwhile, Mr. Kanganja has spoken about the need for the media practitioners to have a good relationship with the police for them to be protected as they carry out their duties.
If you find the police officers are there, introduce yourselves. The police will protect you. But if you are doing that hide and seek, yes, they'll think maybe you are siding with that group, then action will be taken. But if you come and introduce yourself to the members of the press, why should you be attacked? No, there's no room for that. The police and the media are one, because we disseminate the information to members of, oh, there's danger there, don't go there, that kind of thing. So if you interact freely with the police, you are very safe. And I wish to promise the press that if you run into conflict with the police, please get in touch with me. We'll see how we can work together.
Now, Mission Press has apologized to Catholic Diocese of Ndola Bishop Benjamin Piri for placing his picture together with that of UPND President Hakainde Hichilema on the cover of the latest Ichengalo magazine. Outgoing Mission Press director and new minister provincial of the Conventual Franciscan Friars in Zambia and Malawi, Father Ferena Lambe, said the placing of the two pictures on the Ichengalo cover might have created a wrong impression in the minds of the readers. In a recorded media statement, Father Lambe emphasized that the mixing of the two pictures should not be interpreted as if the bishop or the Catholic Church has endorsed Mr. Hichilema.
The wrong impression that the cover page of the September-October 2020 edition of the Ichengalo magazine might have generated in the minds of many readers. I take full responsibility for the wrong impression that this particular publication might have created. The putting together of the two pictures was neither intended to create a concept that these two leaders have something in common, nor was it intended to state that the Catholic Church in Zambia has already endorsed Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. The combination of these two pictures was merely coincidental.
As the voter registration exercise commences tomorrow, women and youths are being encouraged to participate in the exercise. United Party for National Development Deputy Youth National Chairperson Suveta Mutelo says it is every Zambian right to register as a voter. Ms. Mutelo further bemoaned the continued tribal remarks by some political players.
Ndemiromba kabiri ndemipapaza kalembesheni ukola mukese kwata morubali mukuvota muyumfu obunangani bantu chonde chile mikalipa mukayachilandira mu ballot box ili tuli akusala kwe bantu kalembesheni kusale ntungulushi ishana ndiposa kwa mano itungulushi chanabika ukufaya kwa kwana mayo pantanji ukufaya kwa mfepera pantanji tumombe bechapa mungabe na Zambia kufune kwa ikiyasa.
Meanwhile, Patriotic Front of the Copperbelt is reminding people to exercise their democratic right of voting in next year's elections. PF Copperbelt Provincial Chairman Nathan Chanda has since advised people to turn out in numbers in obtaining voters' cards during the exercise that commences tomorrow, 9th November 2020. He spoke to Radio Chingolo News in Kitwe yesterday.
The Zambian people, and mostly the youths, to take advantage of voter registration exercise, which will commence on 9th November this year, because it's our democratic right to participate in the elections. So it will be important that we take advantage of this exercise, especially to the youths who have attained the age of 18 and above, to obtain their new voters card. And mind you, the time is too short. We've been told that this exercise will only take for 30 days. So it will be important that all of us, we register in numbers.
Nathan Chanda there. In business news, the Jesuit Center for Theological Reflection, JCTR, says there is need to guard against increases in macroeconomic variables such as inflation, which further erodes the disposable incomes of households, thereby compromising living standards. The center says there was need to rein in an expansionary fiscal stance that has over the years threatened the delivery of robust and inclusive social and economic development. JCTR has added that in its quest for a better Zambia, the poor and the marginalized must not be ignored. Meanwhile, JCTR says the cost of living for a family of 5, as measured by the JCTR for the month of October 2020, stood at 706.29 Ngwe, showing a decline over 11 kwacha 18 Ngwe from the September basket of 7071.37. This is according to a media statement issued by JCTR Social and Economic Development Manager Shama Boamundia. In sports, Nkana have recorded their first win of the 2020-2021 FAR Super League season. This is after they beat Kabwe Warriors by a goal to nil in a match played at Yuka Godfrey Chitalo Stadium in Kabwe. The lone goal for our raid was scored by their talisman Idris Mbombo. Meanwhile, it was a moment of relief for new Zesco United coach Numbanu Mamba, who recorded his first victory after beating Lomwana Radiants away by 1-0. And Power Dynamos coach Perry Mutapa was disappointed with his team's 1-0 loss to Buchcon.
So what more do you need? Good game, I think. Yes, we allow them to score, and they score, yes, but we could have scored even 4. So for me, the performance was there, but in some instances, we just needed that against. I think that's where we lost it, especially in the first half. Going to the first half, we had 2 penalties. We could have equalized. Going at 1-1, coming in the second half, I think we could have won the match.
Perry Mutapa. This news broadcast comes to you in the community service of Radio Chingolo with compliments of Muzmili and the Zambia Catholic University. International news as monitored from the BBC. Ivory Coast opposition leader Pascal Afi Ngosan has been arrested for announcing the creation of a parallel government after boycotting last month's presidential election. The former prime minister was said to be detained in the town of Akope. His arrest has not been publicly confirmed, but by Ivorian authorities, rather. Several opposition leaders have faced charges of terrorism and sedition after rejecting President Alassane Ouattara's election, as they say he violated the constitution by seeking a third term. Newly elected President of America, Joe Biden, says it is time to heal the United States and has vowed not to divide but unify the country. In his speech, his first speech as President-elect, Biden says it is time to put away the harsh rhetoric, lower the temperature, see each other again, and listen to each other again. Mr. Biden defeated incumbent President Donald Trump following a cliffhanger vote count after Tuesday's election. Mr. Trump has yet considered and has not spoken publicly since his defeat was announced while he was playing golf. The results makes Trump the first one-term president since the 1990s. His campaign has failed a barrage of lawsuits in various states, but election officials say there is no evidence that the vote was rigged against him, as he claimed. And on that note, we end this afternoon's main news on Radio Chengelo. Today is Sunday, 8th November 2020. For these and more stories, you can visit our Facebook page and log on to Facebook and like the Radio Chengelo page and link to radio.chengelo.radio12345.com. Better still, you can listen to the rebroadcast of this particular bulletin on our YouTube channel. Radio Chengelo is also active on Radio Garden. You can listen. And before we go, we give you the weather update as compiled by the Zambia Meteorological Department. Southern, western, northwestern, and Luapula provinces, including the extreme northern parts of northern and Muchinga provinces, will be partly cloudy and hot to very hot with a likelihood of thunder showers. Maximum temperatures will be in the range of 32 degrees to 40 degrees Celsius. The evening will be partly cloudy and warm to hot. Eastern, Lusaka, Central, and Copperbelt provinces, including much of northern and Muchinga provinces, will be sunny, windy at times, and hot to very hot, with temperatures in the range of 33 to 41 degrees Celsius. The evening will be mainly clear and warm to hot. COVID-19 is still real, therefore wear a mask when in public, avoid large groups and maintain social distance, avoid unnecessary movements, wash your hands frequently for at least 20 seconds. On behalf of the entire news team, my name is Kennedy Mbewe Jr. Thank you so very much for listening. We have Ilyashi Mchwemba at 16 hours. Have yourself a lovely Sunday afternoon.